You're watching Golf News Kicking Back. Sham and Satish are back again to talk about what has been another dramatic night of football. This World Cup is becoming the tournament that just keeps on giving. We've just seen Uruguay beat Ghana, but they have failed to make the last 16 of the World Cup because of goals scored. South Korea, of all teams, have taken the second spot because they beat Portugal tonight with an injury time winner. They won that match 2-1. Uruguay beat Ghana 2-0. And up until injury time, Sham, they had felt that they had done enough. They had done enough. They had done enough. But unfortunately for them, news filtered into the stadium at the Al Janoub Stadium in Qatar that South Korea had stung Portugal in injury time to win that match 2-1, which means now Portugal and South Korea are through. Uruguay and Ghana are out. I mean, just sum up that dramatic night, Sham.
I mean, it is a dramatic night. I mean, see, there was at one point three teams, any of the three teams could have qualified, including Ghana. Ghana needed a draw. Even up till towards the end, if Ghana had scored 2 goals, they would have still qualified ahead of Korea actually, because they had more goals scored for. So, I mean, you're right. I mean, the basic mistake or the cardinal mistake Uruguay made was they didn't expect Korea to beat Portugal. I think that is a very bad mistake in these days, because the standard of teams and the level of games are so close that you can't take any result or any team for granted. I mean, that's precisely what happened. Injury time goal, and imagine 90+1. That is when there will be a hope sunk. And the Uruguayan coach at that point of time had pulled out 3 players, including Suarez, who was very influential today. 2 of his assists actually translated into goals. Darwin Nunes, and they could only sit on the bench and watch the unfolding drama. And even the drama continued till the last minute. The balls were switching from goal post to goal mouth, and both the goalkeepers bringing off dramatic saves. So you didn't know who was going to win until the whistle went up. So all in all, a fantastic night's football. Not just that, the group games have simply been brilliant.
It really was a dramatic night. I don't think anyone expected this much drama in these 2 games. Satish, as Sham just mentioned there, Uruguay, I mean, I don't blame them either. They were looking very comfortable. They were winning 2-0. Ghana were down and out. And to just, save the players, which they thought for the upcoming last 16 clashes, they took off all their front men, Suarez in particular, 35 years old. He made 2 assists in the game today. Every touch that he had of the ball, he was being booed heavily by the Ghana fans, because obviously these 2 teams have got some real history. Back in 2010, Suarez conceded, a deliberate handball. He stopped a goal line, a goal effort. The penalty was awarded to Ghana, but Gayan, the striker, he missed that. That match went to penalties. Uruguay won 4-2. But Ghana today were awarded a penalty. And unfortunately, their captain, Jordan Ayew, he missed it. It was a very soft effort. But Satish, going back to the original point I was going to make, which Sham just alluded to, it was a terrible mistake by the coach to take off Darwin Nunes and Luis Suarez in such an important match, knowing that you possibly would need to score 2 or 3, goals to ensure your progress to the last 16.
True, Imran. I think that was a mistake, and I think probably what has happened is not scoring in the previous games have come back to bite them back more than what they did today, isn't it? So the lack of goals, that's where they lost it. Even then, the last minute, if 1 goal could have come in, then maybe they would have gone ahead of South Korea. But that's where I think they lost the plot. But again, these kind of things you can't really expect. Though, yes, as a coach, you have to see various scenarios. You can't expect a coach to keep your best players, because he must be saving him for the next game, because they must be looking forward to the round of 16. So tough luck for the veterans, Cavani and Suarez. Unfortunately, till the last, Suarez was in tears. Maybe his team's a crash, and probably it's his last World Cup. So unfortunately, yeah, it is. And that's the beauty of the sport. It gives you, it pays back you at the wrong time, isn't it? For what he did in 2010. So unfortunately.
The funny thing is, look, Ghana were looking for revenge tonight. they couldn't do it themselves, but they'll be thanking the South Koreans for helping them out for making sure Uruguay.
I think in a way they also did that, isn't it? Because they didn't allow the last one goal, so they got the pound of flesh.
Yeah, they did. Well, they did what they wanted to do. They got a big
In
help
a different
from
way.
South Korea. But Sham, this tournament is really becoming absolutely incredible. We thought maybe the early shock that we had when Saudi beat Argentina and then Germany were beaten by Japan, we thought maybe there's not going to be any more than that. But we're getting them every single game, it seems. This is probably one of the best overall tournaments of the World Cup, would you say?
Yes, every World Cup has a couple of shocks in the group stages. That's only natural. Simply because teams coming together, players coming together, and especially the openers for each team is quite tricky. So, which is why we have seen in the past, in 1986, I think Giorgio de Arrascaeta said that they will take the first flight back home if Tunisia beats them, and Tunisia beat them 2-1. Anyway, Giorgio de Arrascaeta and his team did not take the flight. Germany stayed on to make the final, losing to Italy. But those kind of shocks are to be expected. If you go back in time, any World Cup, there have been shocks in group stages, but one or two. That's about it. But this is being like a blizzard, one after the other. I mean, it started with South to Japan, then it went to Morocco, then again back to Japan. And it is ceaseless. And today you have Portugal been beaten by South Korea. And who saw that coming? So this group stage has been what you call a blizzard of upsets. And I loved it, actually. The thing is, that's the best part about football. The thing is, the football is becoming, as we know, is a universal game. And we also know that the level of football is more or less uniform around the world. Earlier, Asia and the Arab world used to be the poor cousins of the Europe and Latin America. I think it's no longer the case.
It's just an incredible story, Satish, because obviously the focus of this Uruguay match will be on Suarez, who's 35 now. So this is definitely his last World Cup. Obviously, we've been talking about Messi being 35 and Ronaldo being 37. But Suarez is also probably definitely playing in his last tournament. He would have been desperate to have got through to the knockout stages. But unfortunately, you know, what do they say? What's that phrase? You know, what goes around comes around. So 12 years ago, what he did, by stopping Ghana from advancing, it's come back the worst possible way. Because I believe had he still been on the pitch, he may have done something and provided possibly a third goal once they knew that they needed a third goal. But by taking him off the pitch, they were looking very lightweight. But that's it. That's how it's finished. Unfortunately for Uruguay and Ghana, they both go home. Portugal and South Korea advance. Now, guys, the exciting stuff.
Again, just to add something, Portugal making 6 changes helped South Korea also in a way, isn't it? This game, they played literally their second string.
Yeah, so now we have the last 16 starting tomorrow, where the Netherlands are going to be playing against the USA. Sham, how do you see that one going tomorrow?
The Netherlands and USA. Netherlands has not been at their best, but USA has been quite good, actually. So Netherlands really have to lift their game, otherwise they will be done in by USA. So I'm looking forward to that match because this is going to be an interesting game.
Satish, do you think that one could go to extra time penalties?
I think maybe not so much. Maybe the Netherlands, they have got the experience. They have got the coach Van Gaal is veteran in this, and he has done well so far. Though there were a lot of criticism against him, he didn't care about what they said. He is looking to win. So I'm sure with these kind of big teams, I always feel as the knockout phase comes in, they play better because the minnows or the lower ones in the rankings would be under more pressure. That's my feeling. So I think Netherlands should go through or have it easier probably by the end of the regulation time.
Okay, we'll see. And the other one, there's only from now, there's only 2 games a day. The 4 games a day we've enjoyed is no longer there's only going to be 2. So the second one tomorrow night is the late one, Argentina against Australia. Now, Sham, we've seen Argentina come from the brink after losing a game against Saudi. You know, the pressure was on them. Messi delivered in that last game. Is he going to deliver again against the Aussies?
I think so, because also, if you look at the last game, Argentina have got their act together. They are buzzing. And if they continue to do that, I think they will live up to their tag of favorites. And in this form, I expect them to make the final, actually. Because unless they run into one of the, I hope they don't run into Brazil at some point. But otherwise, I think they could make the final, really. Because if provided they display the same form from the last match, not just Messi, the rest of the people, the rest of the team came around. So I think we are seeing a different Argentina, and I'm sure Messi will have his say in the match. So my call is tomorrow's match, Argentina will win. So will USA.
And Satish, do you think Graham Arnold's Australia can cause another shock to Lionel Scaloni's Argentina? I mean, this tournament, like we've all been saying, is full of surprises. Are we going to see one tomorrow?
True, I don't think so, Imran. If you look at Argentina, in about 37 matches, they lost 1. So they are a team that is in form. Yeah, you have your off days. But I think I will go with Argentina, and especially the way they played, and literally from brink, where they had to win and do well in the next game, so that they had to enter the last 16. They did quite well, so the confidence should be there in them. So I would go with Argentina as well, because obviously, you can't have too many bad days, and they have come back to their best again.
All right, we will see how they all get on.
What's
That's
your
enough
pick?
from us from tonight. My opinion? Oh, I got a funny feeling, Satish. I think, you know, the way this tournament is going, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more surprises. Basically, if Australia and the USA win, well, I mean, this has been a tournament, so we never know. But yeah, I do think Argentina should be too strong, and the Netherlands also as well should progress. But we'll see. We don't know. It's been amazing so far, and I think we're going to be seeing lots more drama coming up. That's enough from the guys. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, head to golfnews.com for all the latest news, and check us out on our social media channels. Thank you, and see you tomorrow night.